Okay, so this is part two. Technically, yeah, it is part two of the video that I was making because I want to talk about more about the ending I was talking about. You know how I talk about at the end of the video I was like, hey, um, watch not pay attention to Trump what's doing because I'm not paying attention to none of this shit. But if you're spiritually and in tune with yourself, you will actually have a feeling in knowing that because a lot of sorry I sneezed. But there's a thing that my intuition told me and stuff is that there's a gap right now of because a lot of people are like, oh, when's this going to happen and everything like that. So you know how Trump is not getting out of office right now, right? And I made a joke about it on my other videos saying that Trump is basically gonna be there until the Matrix is gone and then give it to Biden, and then Biden would be like, what's the fucking point, it's over and shit, you know. So that could happen, but I'm really thinking more of like what's gonna happen. From what I'm seeing, every time I think about it or I meditate or something like that. What I see is that since we're getting closer and supposedly he's leaving around January, right? Remember when everyone say that Trump is the last president? Even I said that. I wish I can show you my other channel, but that channel's gone now. But all those years, I've been saying that Trump is the last president. Trump is the last president. Trump is the last president. Before I started going deep with Spiritual Soul, Remedy H, and Serious Temple, and I was smart. That was before all of that shit. And I found out that Trump is the last president. And I know that because I have a relationship with this motherfucker in the astral realm. I fought his clone. And I seen him before. Alright, I fought his clone, killed his clone, and not killed his clone, but like fucked him up pretty bad. And then I even drew pictures on there, my picture and all that when you draw your dreams and all that. I have a dream journal basically of that. And what happened was that the last time I saw Trump in my dreams is that there was a reptilian lady coming after me, and we were in classes, and I was behind a desk and shit, and she was trying to come after me and shit. And then all of a sudden, the door to the classroom busted open, and then you see Trump walking in with his men, and it was the red tie Trump, not the blue tie Trump. And the red tie grabbed something from a kid's desk, and it was a bomb, and it was ticking. And then he looked at the reptilian woman. The reptilian woman was like this, looking at him. He's about to attack, and then all the men that was behind him shot her and shit, and then fell and crap. And then he looked at me like this and walked away, because he knew that I was going after his twin or clone. That I did that shit, because me and his twin have history. Me and his twin have history in the astral realm. All right, we do. In the Trump with the red tie, he knows all of that history and shit. And when he left and shit, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, thanks for saving me. Like, I was confused at what he did and shit, because I was just like, what, you know. But that right there, maybe that was a symbolize of when he's picking up the time, is that he knows his time is up. But it was a bomb, so who knows what it was. I mean, who knows what he did with that. But so the time frame of this everything ending basically is you gotta not really pay attention to everything, pay attention to yourself and everything, yes, but be cautious of what this guy is doing, because he's not leaving office, and that's for a reason. Right? We all said, even people that are spiritually in tune with themselves, says that Trump is the last president, and we're not lying. He is the last president. Right? You might say, oh, Biden won and shit, but this motherfucker's not leaving office. Oh, he has until January. You're right. He has until January. But in January, either the beginning of January or the next week of January, this shit is done. It's done. All right? People think this shit's going to keep going until, like, March and shit. I'm like, guys, The final nail is literally January. Why? Because this motherfucker doesn't want to leave office, and that's around the time when he has the final gap of him about to leave, basically. Like, you have a time frame of you about to leave the office. Like, basically, it's like if there's a new president or something like that, the other president will stay there until the next year of January, basically. So you think this guy is really he's gonna stay there until you think this guy is not gonna finish all his terms off before he leaves? People want him out of there now, but he's not leaving because he knows what's up. You know? This is what I see. I don't care about these fuckers. I don't. But this is what I see. Okay? This is what the universe showed me. This is what my higher self showed me. And I was just like... Because at first when all of the stuff about the QAnon shit, and I was just like, yeah, you know, save the children and all that shit. But then I started thinking, wait a minute. He's not saying anything. We're getting close to that date, and he's not saying anything. Even Spiritual Soul said it best. Said it too. He said it best too. He's like, hey, if you're doing this, why won't you say it? He's not saying it. He's denying all the QAnon shit. Because there's someone, and most people are like, oh, but he's doing it on purpose. Trust me, trust the plan, trust the plan. I'm like, look, I had a dream. Not even a dream. I meditated going underground when they were trying to save the kids. And guess what happened? They saw the blue tie Trump. They saw the clone, and they were like, what the fuck? The military people. And the guy that was on the microphone was the red tie Trump, and he was like, what's going on? And they were like, there's you right here, the blue tie one. You have explaining to do. You know, and I fought the blue tie Trump in the underground tunnel and shit. When I fought them and shit, I was just like, I looked at the military people like, dude, do you realize who you're working for? Like, I want to save the kids too and shit, but I think this shit's bullshit, man. They're making you coming down here for something else. That's why I was saying in my mind and looking at them like that. And they knew what the fuck I was thinking, because they saw me and I was looking at them like this, and they were like, you have a lot of explaining to do. You know? So if all of this shit is true of him trying to save the children, and the military people literally asked him, hey, to be president so we can get rid of these motherfuckers, then how come he's not saying it? And if that is true, because the thing is, these people do hate him. I'm not saying they don't, because look, all these years, since 2016, they kept fucking talking shit about him. It's like, shut the fuck up, man, we get it. Shut the fuck up, we get it. And then when you try to tell people that, they're like, oh no, fuck you and shit. And it's like, but now the people that telling you fuck you and shit, that denied it, when you were like, dude, it's getting annoying, now they look at it and they're like, yes, I understand and oh, fuck this and all that. They're actually seeing your perspective now. Which I'm just like, okay, good, thank you. Because I understand your perspective. Like, you hate the guy, you don't want him there. No shit. No one doesn't want no one there. That's when people be like, oh, vote for another president or vote for a politician. No, we should not do none of that, because that's the same shit that... It's just a repeating cycle. The definition of insanity is you guys still trying to go for a politician or a president and thinking that that shit will still fucking change and work, and it hasn't. You guys are psychopaths. And yet I'm the crazy one, right? I'm the crazy one because I don't vote. But yet you keep voting for fucking different people that literally have the same fucking head of a dragon. The people that are pulling the strings of all these politicians and all these presidents that you see, especially Kennedy, they all of them have to talk to a head of a fucking reptile. Because the reptile is literally the puppeteer. And why the puppeteer is doing this and people think that they're all fighting amongst each other and hate each other, on top, they're all like, they believe it. We're fools. We're all walking with each other. We all sleeping in the same bed with each other too. But look at this. Here, I have my puppet China, and I have my puppet USA president. You have your puppet China president. So it's like, haha, like let's make them bicker and fight amongst each other and start a war and shit. But in real life, We got each other. Because they want the same thing. They want the same thing. Us being downgraded. And us not living what we were supposed to be, like gods and goddesses. So, ain't no standing overstand the time frame of what's going to happen here. Could it not happen? Yeah, it couldn't. But from what I'm seeing, it could. And it makes sense because of everything that's happening. He's supposed to leave in January, right? He doesn't want to leave in January. And this matrix system is leaving. And plus, everyone's saying that spiritually in tune themselves, like me, are literally saying he's the last president. So what does that tell you? That's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. By January, it's done. It's over. It's already over right now. It's been over. The whole conjunction shit just put the nail in the coffin right there. Then when it comes to January, it's literally in the grave. You want me to give you a visualize of how this shit is ending? Okay. When the conjunction happened, it was the nails inside the coffin, basically. Now when it comes to January, that coffin is going to get buried. There's a perfect analogy for if everyone wants to give that perspective a little bit. I'm not saying you're stupid and all that just because I said it. No, I'm just giving you a good perspective so people can actually be like, huh, that's a really good perspective, you know? Because sometimes I like to do that, you know? And sometimes I like to give good perspectives or something like that, you know? So people can be like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Because this whole enlightenment stuff, it's hard when you're trying to tell people, but it's easy because they didn't make it, our ancestors didn't make it hard. They made it easy for us for a reason. But the reason we act like stupid sometimes, like, oh, I don't get it, it's because what these motherfuckers did. They're making us fucking dumb. But that shit's ending. Right? You gotta think for yourself. That's why you gotta spend time with yourself and spend time with nature, spend time with the sun gaze or something. You know? Spend time with yourself. You know? For 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. Just spend time with yourself. You will know thyself. For crying out loud, the day that I went underground and took, fought the blue tie Trump, and then the military was like, hey, your twins here and shit, you have a lot of explaining to do. That was the day that I wasn't in the internet at all. And I was just here in my room, meditating, drawing, and that was it. And that shit came to me, and I also saw it when I was meditating. Because once I saw it, I was like, all right, let me meditate. And I saw the whole thing. I was just like, damn. Fuck, man. Like, for real. It's crazy. So, it's not crazy. It's just mind blown that once you know thyself, you see a lot of stuff. And that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be interconnected to the planet. And that's how you know. And when you connect it to the planet, like a network type way, you will know everything that's going on. That's why in ancient times, they knew what the fuck they were talking about. And then the other side of the fucking world, they knew the same thing. And they never met. What does that tell you? That tells you they connected it spiritually when they meditated. They knew that they were around. But they meditated and shit so they can talk to each other and crap. You know? So going back, that's the time frame you guys should think about of this whole thing ending. Because a lot of people were like, oh, when's it going to end? Should it end when the conjunction happened and all that? No, that's the energy is pushing in and more and more and more. And I know a lot of people want to be going to war and fight these motherfuckers and shit. Look, we got to wait. I know you don't like to wait. I don't like to wait. But the key of meditation and the key of the spirituality shit is being patient. It might sound stupid, but it's true. Why do you think I love that part with Captain America? It's like patience. And I was just like, I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, that's stupid. But at the same time, I understand and overstand because it was like when you're being patient of seeing a whole series and then it finally culminates and you're like, yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. Right? So we're living right now are Avengers, basically, until we get into Endgame. So, I'll see you guys later, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, share this video, and peace.